Welcome back to Lavender. Today's video is another episode of Artist of Life, a series where we feature real people who are actively creating their dream life. Today, I'm so excited to have my dear friend Alisa here with us. She goes by Dr. Alisa Chatprapachai, and she is a mental health, mindfulness, and wellness advocate who's created the website Calm Corner. An occupational therapist by trade, she's worked with people from age 0 to 97 with the goal of spreading mindful awareness in everyday life. Hi, Alisa.
Hi, Aileen. How are you?
I'm so well. How are you doing?
I'm great.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
So I want to talk to you about what you do in your life, just the aura that you have, because you're so calm and you're just so welcoming, just in general. So were you always like this? Where did it come from?
Right. I think as a child, I was, quiet, reserved, but I wasn't scared or shy. And I grew up in Thailand for 5 years when I was 5 to 10, and then I moved back here and started middle school. So I think with the Thai upbringing too, with the Thai culture, and it has ingrained in me to be calm. But I wasn't as calm, until more of the later years. Like the super calm where I'm aware that I'm calm. So it's through meditation that I've been more calm.
So can you talk about like the challenges that you've gone through that have kind of got you inspired to go into mental health and meditation?
Right. I remember especially the transition when I moved from Thailand to here, when I moved back here, that it was super challenging. I would cry myself to sleep, cry to my mom, why don't I have any friends? So I knew what it felt, how it was like to be lonely and not really belong anywhere. No one else really looked like me, so that was difficult. So I remember having a teacher who said, if you want a friend, be a friend. So I was like, okay, so the next day, this was in 8th grade, I spotted a girl in the red jacket who's having lunch by herself. So I approached her and we're still friends until this day.
Oh, that's
so
sweet.
Yeah.
So talk about your journey to meditation, because I know that you went on a crazy meditation course in Thailand. And just how did it start and what have you done so far?
Okay, so all my life I felt like I've been through school, from kindergarten through my grad school to the doctorate degree. I didn't really get a break, and I felt like that was really challenging. So the moment that I started working, that's when there's a lot of things that was unexpected. So I began to feel depressed and not really wanting to get out of bed. My contacts were still in my eyes, and not really taking care of myself. So I knew that something had to change. And so one day I looked in the Thai newspaper and I saw that there's a 96-year-old monk who's gonna be speaking at this temple. This is where we're at, Wat Pa Thamachat, that he's gonna come for Father's Day and to, talk about, give a Dharma talk. So I came with my dad, and at that event he talked about the opening of the meditation course next month. So I'm like, what is this? I wasn't sure, but I've had some experiences with meditation. When I was younger, I would spend summers with my grandma, and she would take me to a lot of temples.
So
and
does your whole family meditate? Is it a cultural thing?
No,
okay,
like no one. Yeah, we would maybe go on like meditation retreats for a week, at the temple, and we call it like we were temporary nuns. We would wear all white, and we couldn't eat afternoon time. So I started when I was 9. So we would go on this retreat, and I remembered just being silent and just experiencing that sense of calm at a young age. So I still, when my grandma was still alive, would go back every summer and you know, go to the temples, but not really meditating, but just being there in that culture. And then, so part of that meditation journey, so I enrolled in the course not really knowing, because it's a 6-month course.
That's
and
long.
Yeah, and so Long Pa Wiriyang Sirintaro, he's the monk, he's 97 now, who created the course, and through, you know, 40-50 years of his journey as a monk and developing that willpower in the course, he's spread compassion and meditation through his teaching. So there's 6 or 7 locations in Canada that's taught in English. There's around 300 locations, and there's 3 in the US. And so with the LA one, so it opened up in January 2015. I enrolled it without knowing if I can complete the course, because it was 6 months. It was on the weekends. You know, I would be working full time and then having to dedicate time here. So I didn't think I could finish it, and I struggled because I didn't really know anyone. There was around 200 people in the course. I was the youngest one, and I couldn't really relate with anyone. I would sleep in my car during lunch because I was so tired. But then once an older sister reached out to me and have me helped out at the IT department there, I was able to find a more sense of belonging. And then I, you know, from then my meditation family became my family.
Oh, that's so nice. So can you explain how do you meditate? You know?
Okay.
Yeah. What is your process like?
Okay, so my process, so after the 6 months course, then we also did our final practicum, final exam in Doi Intanon, which is in Thailand. So that included a 5-day hike at the highest mountain in Thailand. And so I knew that what I took from the course was that having a word or mantra, that is the beginning towards a well-practiced meditation. So if you have, you know, your positioning is good, you have your the mantra, the word, and then you go on from there, things will be easier, smoother. So that's how, if you have a strong foundation, you can then develop into to a stronger branch. Or
that's what I thought was interesting when we were talking about meditation, like before this video. Basically the way Alisa meditates is she focuses on one word, right? And it's a Thai word that means enlightenment.
Putto, right? So it's a Pali word actually.
Oh, okay.
But yes, but it doesn't have to be that word. It could be any word. You know, even the instructor, like any word would do. But you just have to focus on that word. So even when I'm driving, you know, drinking Starbucks or walking my dog, I keep that word in my mind, and I feel like it's taught me to be really calm.
Mantra.
That's my mantra.
Yeah, which is cool because anybody can incorporate that. You can pick a word that's your mantra and meditate anywhere. You don't have to be sitting down. You can be walking, going about your life, and just bringing your mind back to that word can help calm you down.
Right, and you could do it while standing or lying down, any position.
Yeah, because I think most people think like, oh, meditation is so hard. I have to sit down for an hour, and it can be more simple than that.
Right. So you asked about what my practice looks like. So ever since my grandma, who's very dear to me, passed away in April 2016 last year, I knew that, you know, we can't take life not seriously. You know, you have to be intentional. And so you know, when she passed away, that's when I really committed to a daily practice. So far it's been very good, and I make time for it, you know, the sitting meditation or the walking meditation, but to try to do at least 30 minutes a day.
Okay. Yeah. In the morning? Or at night?
For me, right now, it's been whenever I can find the time. I'd like to, you know, be more consistent, preferably in the morning. The monk, Long Pa Wiriyang, said that the best hour, it's kind of like the golden hour, it's 4 a.m. to 5 a.m.
Wow.
Yeah, so I know not a lot of people do it, but if you can do it, I think part of the belief is that it's very quiet in that hour. The party goers, you know, kind of go back to bed now, and then the early risers haven't woken up yet.
That's very interesting.
So the golden hour.
I mean, I'm a night owl and I
Okay.
stay up till like, I've stayed up till like 4 or 5, 6 to like work. And the reason why I used to like up staying that late is because it's so quiet. Like nothing else is going on.
Right.
There are no distractions. I understand that. So why you would want to meditate during that time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Since we're on the topic of meditation,
Sure.
how about you give some tips for beginner meditators? Because I know a lot of people want to get into meditation.
Right.
So maybe just share some quick tips.
Sure. Part of the few tips which I've gained from taking the course is that it doesn't have to be 30 minutes when you start. It could be 5 minutes, right? But 5 minutes 3 times a day, that's 15 minutes already. And if you do that every day, right, and for a month, that's a lot of minutes.
Yeah.
And once you do that, the goal is that you accumulate willpower, you become more patient, you become more compassionate. So I definitely saw a change in me in the way that I'm more calm when I deal with my family, right? Because I live with my parents. So, you know, dealing with family members and brother and siblings, it can be tough and so I felt like I saw a change in me and then a change in how I do my job as an occupational therapist. I'm devoted, I'm present, and I really enjoy what I do. And so I really believed in the course. I got my mom to join the course.
Yeah,
So
that's
she
so
was
cool.
the second class who took the course. And so
So it sounds like meditation has really enhanced your life overall in your personal and your work life, which is amazing. So I think it can benefit everyone. So you did mention occupational therapy. Do you want to talk about what you do and what do you love about it?
So some people may not know, but an occupational therapist, which you call OT for short, is a profession that deals with the everyday activities. So occupation as whatever occupies your mind, or you know, the daily activities. So the moment you get up, brushing your teeth, putting your clothes on, to driving, to drinking tea, to skiing, right? Any activity. So if you have some sort of barriers, it could be physical or emotional, then or mental, right? Mental barriers. We look at that and we try to help you live your dream life, right? Like whatever, if they want to go back to, you know, their job or to their community, we help them to get there.
So is a lot of it mental, you think?
Yes,
Emotional?
even though like, and you know, a traditional OT may work in the hospital setting or clinics or schools or home base. A lot of it, you know, we look at the physical aspect, but a lot of it is mental too. If they don't feel like it, they're not motivated. You know, how do you meet them at their level so that you can address some of those goals that would bring them happiness?
Right. And so it sounds like it's so seamless with the meditation and the mindfulness and being present with your job.
Right.
So that it's interesting how you found that perfect spot, right, for you to do your work. So can you actually expand on what exactly you do in your job?
Sure. So as an occupational therapist, I right now work 3 jobs with 3 different agencies, but I chose that way because I like the flexibility and the freedom. There may be a lot of driving, but I've learned to, you know, listen to podcasts and inspirational talk, so that's fine. But I get to work with, first of all, kids, and you know, kids that I work with, you know, they may have anxiety or PTSD or ADHD. So how do you, you know, consider that and then work with them on emotional regulation, how to be calm and focused during homework or play or, you know, in their daily routines. So at where I'm at, I'm the first OT, and so there's a lot of advocacy that goes on there too, and so you're like your own boss in a way, but we were given, or I was given one office. So with that one office, and you know, if you know about OTs and pediatric OT, you know, we usually have a gym and swings and all that fun stuff, but here there's one office. So as part of my job, we need to be creative too. And so I'm like, okay, we're going to use the hallway. We're going to go outside. We're going to use the elevators as the handball court. We're going to use the rolly chair as, to get their sensory input so they can focus and do more the tasks that they need to do.
Oh, wow.
So that's one example with working with kids. But working with kids, you're also working with parents and caregivers and teachers and different disciplines. So there's that I guess luxury that you need to be able to work with others too. And for my older adults in the home, I meet them where they're at. So they're in their natural setting and they're too weak to go to the outpatient clinics, right? So I go into the home and it's, using the resources that they have. So sometimes we use canned goods as weights.
Nice.
Or, we try to work on the fine motor, their endurance. So we may do coloring. I can bring in meditation. We can do some breathing.
Yeah.
So I feel that I can bring in my passions, mindfulness, meditation, into my job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm sure you're like enlightening them as well and enhancing their life. That's like a really fun job because you're actually helping other people with their life, like living the life that they want to live.
Yeah. One of the patients or caregivers was telling me, she was like, out of all the therapists or the different disciplines who come to visit our home, you're different. And she was like, do you practice meditation?
Yeah.
So like she asked me that and I was like very surprised.
That's
because she was saying how I was able to reach, her mother, who's the client, to a certain level that no one else could reach through to her.
Yeah, because I feel like most therapists sound very sciencey and like it's very like surface level, right? And then I feel like what you do, you bring your whole self to help others, and with the meditation, mindfulness background, that helps a lot.
Yeah. So definitely like therapeutic use of self. That's what we learned in OT school. But it comes into play a lot. So whether with kids or with me and you or people, strangers, right? You need to present, or how do you relate to others and kind of make them do what you want in a way, not manipulative.
Make them feel comfortable.
Yeah, but like
to do
okay,
what they,
right? What they want to do, make it fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's lovely. So I know that outside of like your work and personal life, you also are on a mental health board.
Yes. Okay. So my dad used to work for the Orange County supervisor, Michelle Steele, and he notified me of this opportunity that we can get involved at the local level, and he knew that I was super interested in mental health, and based on my experience, personal experience, and also working with others too, and I knew that I wanted to dedicate time for this. Now during that time I was still doing my full-time job as an OT and taking the meditation course, so I couldn't imagine. I was busy already. I couldn't imagine dedicating time to this too. But I applied and was appointed as a board member there. So I began to get more involved. I didn't really know anything, and I was the youngest one. So so there was challenges too. But another opportunity related to that came up a few months after I joined in April 2015. They had an opportunity for us to the mental health board to represent at the state level, and I volunteered to go, and I was able to learn more about what the other mental health boards are doing across California. There's 30 around 30 something counties, so we were able to meet, and so from that experience, I just came back from another meeting in San Diego, and they were very impressive with how I can deal with conflict and willing to work, just to be there and show up. And they they appointed me a second vice president
Oh,
of the
cool.
California's
Oh.
Association of Local Behavioral
Yeah.
Health and Commission. So that's the full name. But it made me realize that we are needed. Our generation, millennials, we are needed. We need to sit at that table
Yeah.
to advocate and just bring ourselves, even
Yeah.
though we know nothing. We need to fake it. We just need to be there and just be present and be helpful, you know, and
Just
share.
show up,
Yeah, just
right?
show
Just
up.
join the club.
That's
Yeah.
80%, and
Yeah.
we need to do more of that. And I see, like, at the county level or at the, you know, state level, you know, it's more important than ever that now is the time.
Yeah.
Because if not now, when? Right? It's gonna be never.
Yeah.
So just, I know it might be uncomfortable. That's how I felt. I
Yeah.
felt alone. I felt that, you know, why am I doing this? Why am I spending time? But it's so important.
I think that's awesome because you take the time to do all this extra work and actually get involved at the county and the state level, which
Yeah.
a lot of people don't think about. A lot of
Yeah.
people don't even realize that they can do that they can contribute in some sort of way. So that's really cool.
Like the older people, they're gonna be, you know,
Exactly.
retiring. Like we need to make our voices heard.
So if you really care about a certain cause
Yeah.
or you want to make some change in your community, there are ways to do it. There are ways to like get involved, which is awesome.
Right, and for me too, like with the Thai American community, which is near and dear to my heart, you know, it helps that my parents are involved in the community and they give back and they donate their time, and so I've gained that aspect, and you know, I've able to keep up my Thai because of the opportunities that came up, whether as an MC or just to help out volunteer or through the meditation community. So there's different ways to be involved.
So can I ask you, what does your dream life look like? Maybe fast forward like 5 years. Maybe you're living it now.
Right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
So what does it
Okay.
look like?
That's always a hard question because I'm like in the moment kind of person, and like if I think too far ahead, I may get, you know, anxious, and if I, you know, look back, then I might get sad, you know, about the things. But you know, part of my dream life, I think, just bring myself into everyday, you know, situations, because to have a happy future, it starts with today.
Yes.
So I'm like, okay, the things that I can control today, or what can I ensure that I'm going to be calm and at peace, you know, doing my meditation daily, walking my dogs, right, doing yoga. Those are the things that bring me joy, or connecting, talking to people. So, and I started a website, Calm Corner, which I've been devoting more time. I feel like, you know, blogging, having that outlet really helps, you know, to ensure that I'm happy and content, even though I don't feel like it. I can, you know, make myself do it, and I know that I feel better. And if I can inspire just one person, you know, just one reader to read, my job is done for that day, you know. So I think definitely devoting time to my own self-care, because if I take care of myself, I can then take care of others, right? I can be there present 100%. So that's my philosophy.
I love that. That's a huge one. Take care of yourself in order to take care of others.
Yes.
And I like that it's so simple. You just
Yeah.
want to be able to be present every day, feel joy in the little things like yoga, walking your dog.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And so with Calm Corner too, you know, it might grow into something else. But right now, you know, I'm trying to see if I can create a community out of it, or if I can lead seminars or support groups, or for people who may feel lonely or left out, because I know how that feels, you know, to have no one really understands you. And so I feel like I've been through that, and I have this heart that, you know, of compassion, that I really wanted to help people feel that they belong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what would be your best advice to someone who's out there who isn't necessarily at the place you're at? Maybe their life is a mess and they do feel lonely, or I don't know, they're just not centered and calm and peaceful. What's your advice for someone like that?
I think turning ideas into I do. So, you know, we may have a lot of ideas, we may be thinking in our head a lot, which is okay, but to a certain level, we need to turn that into action, right? So whether writing it down, right, making a plan, joining Aileen's, Lavender, Artist of Life,
Yeah.
right? Like I do that too to help me feel that, okay, these are my goals, right? And I'm going to work towards that. So really kind of following what your interests are. And maybe right now it's not, you can't afford that lifestyle, but kind of just following what your interests are. Maybe you can't do a full-time job of what you want to do, but maybe you can volunteer or talk to people or learn more about what they're doing and what is it that you wanted to do.
Yes, there's always ways to get involved and do what you want to do in different ways. It doesn't have to be your job, but like you said, volunteer or just something on the side, right?
Right, reaching out to people.
And I also love that line, turn ideas into I do. Did you come up with that?
No, so my friend, Chaplain Sita, he's my friend who I met at the meditation course. He told me that. So he's really helpful with that. Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for today's interview. I feel like everyone will really enjoy this. You guys out there, make sure you check out Alisa. All her links are in the description below. And comment below with your favorite takeaway from today's interview. Also, we have a next video coming up. Alisa's going to share a few of her favorite things, so please watch that video. The links are all below. Thanks so much for watching. This was Artist of Life by Lavender, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.
Bye.